What's going on, New Game in Order? This is Alex Lexus. Today is February 18th, 2017. We're coming at you with a very hefty show, but fewer topics, more staff members. So, giving you a little bit of a preview before we get started. Let's roll our intro reel. New Game in Order is brought to you by Fullscreen.net. New Gaming Order, brought to you by MichaelHurdle.com. Thank you for the intro. Now, we are on standby, and I will go into the room and get these guys started. What's going on, New Gaming Order? Alex Lexus, the staff. We're going to do intros as I'm going across the way. I want to give a big return shout out to K Simi. It's been a minute. I know he's handling stuff with life, but we got K Simi, NYC Playboy, On Your Knees, and T-Risk. But starting with K Simi, what's the intro? What you been up to, man? You've been MIA for a minute. Hope life is good for you.
Man, it's good to be back. First of all, man.
Good to be black.
Yeah, that too, that as well, definitely.
Oh my!
Hey, Black History Month.
Amen.
Straight up, man. But yeah, man, I've been working, man. It's a lot of traveling, a lot of time away from home, but still been able to play these games, man. Still able to keep up. It's been Neo every day for me since it came out, man. Every day. So that's pretty much my gaming life right now.
All right.
Neo every day.
All right, sweet. And speaking of which, New Gaming Order will be able to acquire that title due to NYC Playboy's donation to the stream, and now we have funding to pick that up. So you'll be seeing Neo streamed starting Monday. But
So I'm streaming that shit right now on my YouTube right now, man.
oh, that's what's up. You know what? You gotta give us the link so we can put it on New Gaming Order, and whenever folks you're streaming, it'll get the alert so they can like watch you over there.
Yeah,
That. All right, cool. Next in the shoot, NYC Playboy, my target from Friday Night Fights. What's going on, brother?
Hey, good morning, everybody.
That was rather interesting. Hey, payback was coming. You and Takuma be trolling me, and that felt good. Oh yeah, baby. Oh my. Go ahead, man.
Let's see. Nothing's really going on with me. I'm just sitting back in PC world, pondering. Why is it that these developers still don't learn about these damn poverty box exclusives?
You need to stop it. You need to stop.
They fail with Final Fantasy 15, and now with Neo or Nio, whatever the fuck it's called. Just please
Fail
stop it.
and Neo
Stop.
in the same sentence? No.
No. He wilded. He just wants the game. No.
Stop. Just stop.
Wait a minute. He
Stop.
wants
You know
the
what I mean?
game,
Just
and it's not on PC. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Oh, it
that's the
hurt, don't
problem.
it?
It is a problem,
It
actually.
is a problem because if you're in the business of making money and you're doing all these exclusives, then didn't you learn your lesson? Console exclusives are not a thing anymore. Maybe 10 years ago,
No,
but
man.
now,
Still a thing, man. Still thriving.
all right.
Still
All right.
thriving.
You and your poverty boxes, have fun.
Oh,
But I'm
my
just
goodness.
You having fun over here, man. You
Yeah,
stay over there.
you have fun. Yeah, keep doing that. Yeah, keep doing that. Yeah.
Wow.
I'll sit back and wait till you get all the DLCs and everything, and I'll just buy mine for like $30 on Steam or
He
something.
said the BLTs died. You hungry?
Man.
No, I could go for a BLT right now, but let me stop being fat.
Well, no comment. That was a funny
Ain't
intro,
it, man?
Playboy. All right. On your knees. What's going on, man? You were helping out with Friday Night Fights since I couldn't chat.
Yeah. I don't know what was going on there, Alex. What were you doing last night where you couldn't be talking?
Well, it was a lot of noise, and
No, he had guests in his room.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, That's right. That's what I said.
Allegedly, I'm like,
He had gas, so I don't know what kind of harem he had over there on on top of him and whatnot, where he couldn't be
I
talking,
don't know.
but he seemed to be
I don't know.
tangling his shit in the game. So
Shut up.
I guess he wasn't that involved, or maybe his lady friends just do all the work. Who knows?
Oh, hey,
Well,
it is what
you know,
it is.
you know,
It is what it
McDonald's
is.
sweet tea is delicious, boy. I tell you, boy.
It's like, he spill it. All right, so, but other than that, Playboy, what else you been up to, brother?
No, nothing. Nothing at all. Just working. Just waiting for my
Twerking.
Korean. You know what?
Ain't nobody need to know all that.
It's in the waiting room.
Oh, who's that? Oh, all right, I got him.
Waiting for my Korean MMOs to come out, but Lost Ark has been pushed back. So
Okay.
I'm just like, yeah. But other than that, everything's great.
All right, cool. Shinwar is just joining us. So what's going on, brother?
Yo, what's going on?
Yo, Shinwar is beasting on Friday Night Fights last night. Can't use Nash and Zangief in the same match no more, but good stuff. But what you been playing, brother?
Back in the Halo, Street Fighter 5, and that Star Wars. What was it? Star Wars Unleashed Force Unleashed. Yeah, the first one is.
He's just waking up. It's all good. What? Yeah. You know what? New Game Order. Forces Unleashed, backwards compatible, Xbox. And speaking of backwards compatibility, that's one of the subtopics today. And K Simi is gonna have to help me out with this one because like Sony kind of dropped the ball with PlayStation Now, but that's just a preview. Last but not least, T-Risk, who's been really stepping up with the staff duties and helping us with the streaming and such. What you been doing besides practicing with me in Friday Night Fights?
Nothing much. I've just been working on my backlog of games I previously owned.
Okay.
Shout out to Ghost Missile. We had a couple of matches afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Really good army could play by him.
Okay. Yeah. I would have to say, but the Skullomania Chun-Li, it was cool, and I was like, maybe a Rashid could have benefited from that mod, as opposed to
Yeah, but that mod in particular, I think, comes from Skullomania's ending in one of the
Oh, okay.
Finance games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a picture where there's everybody as Skullomania.
What the heck? As long as Arika doesn't go after Ghost Missile, because he's our tailor. We get to feature those mods on Friday Night Fights first before he releases it to the public. So shout out to Ghost Missile, shout out to Blazing and the staff that was able to show up today. So without further ado, let's get into the first topic, which I'm shifting the order. Sony PlayStation Now support on PlayStation 3, Vita, and more to, it's about to end. Now, Samsung TVs, let me pull down the list. The news comes February 15th, and it was reported by Polygon. Now, here are the list of devices that they're ending support for the PlayStation Now backwards compatibility streaming service. PlayStation 3, PlayStation Vita,
$599
PlayStation Vita, PlayStation TV, all 2013, 2014, 2015 Sony Bravia TV models, all Sony Blu-ray players, and all Samsung TV models. Now, okay, I get for the smart TVs and everything, but why PlayStation Vita? Why PS3? That's proprietary hardware. Why would Sony yank support to that? That's why
Built-in obsolescence. They want them to move on to PS4.
I think that was part of it too, but I kind of feel bad. What was this? I think Sony had released a statement that if your device is on is on the list, April 1st is the last day that PlayStation Now service will be available to those devices. I'm just like, man, that kind of sucks. And what if people are depending on that? I guess that's their way of trying to get people to just, screw that. You need to buy a PlayStation. And, Verizon is actually guilty of this because they cut my Xbox Live streaming or, using the app on the Xbox One. And that's something that I bragged about. I'm like, I can watch TV and play games at the same time. Then Microsoft takes away the Snap app. Then they take away the app for Verizon. But it wasn't Microsoft. That was Verizon that did that. Oh yeah, not enough people are getting boxes. This guy. You know what? On your knees. You're fired and rehired. But with that,
fired? What?
But with that, I wanted to give Kasemi a crack at it. What's going on with that? Why would Sony do something in this fashion?
Honestly, man, you pretty much said the same thing I was thinking with. Like, I can get them taking it off of Samsung TVs and that sort of thing, but taking it off of PlayStation TV and PlayStation Vita and your own Blu-ray players and your own Bravia TVs, like, it doesn't make any sense. But I started to think about it. Just started to think about it from the other side. The only thing that can make up for this type of thing, and I don't really want to say make up because honestly, I don't know anybody that uses the service, but I'm sure there's some. They don't release numbers on it, but I'm sure there's some out there.
Yeah.
But the only thing that they can make up for this type of thing is if they implement PlayStation Now into PlayStation Plus. You know what I'm saying? Then that way you can wrap up everything. Like, yeah, that $10 increase on PlayStation Plus that happened last year, this is why. You know what I'm saying? We're going to implement PlayStation Now into PlayStation Plus. That way, the PC players that use PlayStation Plus, they use PlayStation Now actually need to use PlayStation Plus. You know what I'm saying? So it's a win-win on both sides if you think about it. If they do it that way. Then that way you get more PlayStation Plus subscriptions, because if you want to do PlayStation Now, you need PlayStation Plus. So that'll be a good way to flip it. But honestly, I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're, you think that should make sense to us, but it probably don't make sense to them. So,
my thing is,
what do I know?
But the Vita though, come on, like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Any of your Sony products, any of your products, that doesn't make sense. But like I said, if it's cutting costs and you can find a way to flip it to where you give it to PlayStation Plus users, I bet you get a lot more subscriptions. You get a lot more people using it.
Yeah, I'm salty though. Like the Vita, and I and folks that keep saying I'm not anti-Sony, I'm not. Like, I was a day one adopter of the Vita. I have the first gen Vita. You know what I mean? And then it's like Sony just kept shitting on it. And then the PlayStation 3, come on, like, the fact with the whole backwards compatibility thing, I get it. PlayStation 3, maybe, why would you need, but then for the backwards compatibility with PlayStation 1 titles or whatnot, but I just think, why I was kind of mad at this is, for the PlayStation 3 folks that never had true backwards compatibility, aside from the first gen PS3s. Now look at that. It's like when you tie it to a service, the company holders has too much control over that. They can just pull the plug and like, oh damn, I can't use it no more. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But for the sake of time, Playboy, what are your thoughts on Sony limiting the PlayStation Now service? I mean, I have a guess where maybe they're trying to make it more reliable to the consoles or the devices that will still be able to reap the benefits of having access to it, but that's just my guess. What are your thoughts?
Yes, that's a dumb move for Sony. Yeah, I don't see the benefit of them limiting the service on particular devices. If you're not market for making money, you need to have your device. You need to have your service on as many devices as you can, as humanly or as fiscally possible. But I don't know. I don't keep up with Sony that much. I used to be a Sony fanboy back in the days, but I used to have all their TVs, their Blu-ray players. Now I'm Team Samsung. So.
I mean, you think it got to be cutting costs, right? I don't mean to interrupt you, but you think it got to be cutting costs, right? Like,
it's a service though. I mean, it's a service,
Don't you think like it costs? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know nothing about it, but don't you think it costs like some type of money to support all those platforms?
Of course.
I mean, it's the internet. I mean, it's like if you're trying to move into the space with Netflix, Hulu, Vudu, and all those other sort of
Voodoo?
services.
What?
Yeah, Vudu. VUDU. Voodoo.
Okay, do. All right, go ahead.
I said what I wanted to say, so I'm.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna go ahead.
I've never heard of this service before.
All right.
Okay.
All right, but okay, for time's sake, on your knees, what are your thoughts?
My best guess, because they, if you bring the list back up, they number it on the TVs by year. So my guess is they have a different firmware or hardware structure. So that's at least 3 different types of versions they have to support just for one model of TV. So whether that's Sony's fault for diversifying their equipment like that or what have you, but this is strictly cost cutting. Now, do you have to pay for PlayStation now?
Let's say again.
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
have to
Yeah.
so-
That was really the main problem with it. It cost so goddamn much to do it.
Okay, yeah, because
PlayStation Plus is like on live.
I had to check between the difference between now and Plus, but yeah, this is strictly cost cutting because since their people are subscribing, they know how many people are logging in with those devices. If they're not making enough money to warrant supporting them, they're gone.
They're gonna cut it.
Yep, that's all it is.
We're gonna
Your
cut
price is
it.
way too high. You got
Got to
it.
cut it.
Oh well, that's bad.
All right.
Hold on, wait. It's
Damn hot.
Damn. All right. Shinwar, long time no chat, man. What's going on? Like, what are your thoughts on this? Since you and I sometimes Shinwar told me like, Sony, you need it, like, messing around and all that. But on a serious note, like, do you think this was a smart move for Sony? I think there's benefits in some kind of angry people that are gonna have something to say, but it's just we're relaying the news. But your thoughts, like, good, bad, or indifferent?
Bad per se, but then I guess it's good. Like I use the PlayStation Now service
What?
in the beginning. It was like, one, you don't really own the game. You're pretty much just streaming it. And when it ended, it was just like, oh well, it's gone. Whatever. I know they pulled it for PlayStation 3. I don't know what other devices.
Vita.
It was the Vita. Okay. Yeah, I think that kind of hurts.
Yes.
Vita, because it's a portable device. So if you have the PlayStation Now service, you'll always have it on the go per se with the Vita. You'll have those games, but I mean,
That's dumb.
just cut it. It's a cost cutting effective. Just cut it. If you're not doing anything with it, just cut it.
That sounds like the lyrics too. Go ahead.
Just cut it.
All right, cool. And last but not least, T-Res, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think this is a bad move, or at least for the Vita TV, because that thing kind of relied on it. Sure, it could play like actual physical games, but its main purpose was probably its ability to use the PlayStation services, including PlayStation Now. And it allowed players that didn't want to buy a PlayStation 3 or buy a PlayStation 4 to be able to stream, like, I guess, more high quality games, if that was the case. And it being gone is going to...
breathing?
Maybe.
Like-
That being gone is going to play a damper on that system's qualities.
Yeah, true. I can see the logic in that, but the whole service thing and older games. I just wish Sony had, like, I'm just saying, for the PS4 and the Vita, PS3 and the Vita, that hurts. I don't know why.
It does hurt. There's no way to like play those games backwards compatible otherwise, and now it's gone.
And then you open, like, you pretty much cut off more than half a potential library for the Vita because it doesn't have a lot of games to begin with.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
To allow PlayStation 3 to have an update where it could play those Vita games that you download, those PSP games that you like get.
Yeah.
Or
My gosh,
bring
the
back
PSP game?
Bring back the streaming service for the Vita TV and for the Vita, so
Wow.
that players can play. But this is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's whack. I don't know why that went down like that, but it is what it is. But New Gaming Order, we're gonna bring this topic to a close. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on newgamingorder.com for the latest and greatest. Stay tuned for the director's cut as we go and transition into our second topic. But we have a very, strong staff on queue today, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Okay, we